This is Brent Peterson of Brent and Company.
Hey.
And I'm about to interview him live on the radio, but this is your little sneak peek in your video version of it. So I wanted you to be able to see him. He's right here. This is DC Music Rocks. It's also a podcast. So I hope you subscribe to the podcast. You can hear the whole episode.
Sure.
Here we've got, right now we're playing off Anacostia Songs Volume 1. This is the song Dueling Creek.
Yes.
It's one of my favorites off the album. So I hope you check that one out because, oh man, it's just good. And there it is. That's Brent and Company, and the track is Dueling Creek, and that's off Anacostia Songs Volume 1. And Brent, I love it, man.
Thank you very much.
So good. I was telling somebody, man, there's something about horns and saxophones, and it's just sexy when that happens, and the way you put it together, it's a beautiful package, man.
You can even sing about someone getting killed in a duel, and you can make it fun. You know?
I was going to say, so why don't you tell them? That was Dueling Creek, and that song, what is that song about? You were talking about the history. This whole album's about the history of Anacostia.
Yes.
So what's this one about, Dueling Creek?
Yeah, so the album covers the history of the Anacostia River. And basically that runs from DC's Navy Yard up to Bladensburg, Maryland. Well, that's the title, Anacostia. And then it goes into creeks and streams up above that.
Yeah.
They're just as important, but it's a nerdy little point. This is just the title Anacostia we're talking about.
Okay.
Either way.
Title Anacostia, got it.
There's a creek there called Dueling Creek.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And that goes to where there once was the dueling grounds of Bladensburg, Maryland. And so gentlemen who had their differences, oftentimes they were based in D.C., but dueling was illegal in D.C., and this is like the early 1800s. So they'd cross the state line and go to Maryland and settle their beef.
No way.
It's true.
That, I had no idea. And there you go. So they'd go to Maryland to kill each other, and then they'd come back to D.C.
There you go. Like gentlemen.
Like gentlemen.
Like gentlemen.
Right. Wow. You're blowing my mind. All right. Well, let me give you a proper introduction here because you're on the show here. So on DC Music Rocks, we're shining a spotlight on the great songs, artists, and incredible people behind the DC region's music scene. Keeping it simple and soulful, Brent of Brent and Company combines rock, country, reggae, and pop with improvisation to create memorable and refreshing music with heart and soul. The vocalist and guitarist Brent is joined on stage when you see him live with the whole band by drummer Dominic Fragman, saxophonist Derek Michaels, and bassist Joe Martone. And while the members of Brent and Company come from a varied musical background, their strong musicianship kind of ties the sound together seamlessly. It's like what you just heard on the show. And performing over 250 shows a year, this is a sound that's crafted on the road in front of audiences in DC and nationwide. So it's the real deal. It's not sat up in some studio and thought up. It's like, oh, let me try this new verse today.
Right.
That kind of development, which is it's admirable. And I've been following you ever since I fell in love with the saxophone the first time I heard the song. I'm gonna have to go back and find out what that song was on the next break because, oh man, it was the first one that I heard and it's been on my top playlist ever since, and I just freaking love it. And so now that there's a new album out, and then the opportunity to have you here, this is a fanboy moment for me, man. Thanks for coming and being here, man.
You're very kind. Thank you. Well, pleasure to be here as well. I'm a fan, and I love what you do to support the DC music scene.
Thanks, man.
You're part of it, and you're a supporter, and that is what, as a musician, you know we need. So keep it up.
Thanks, man. Now, talk to people about what it's like when they come see you live. What is Brent and Company live when you see it, like, at a show?
Yes. So in particular, at the album release that we're going to be doing Monday.
Yes, by the way,
19th,
November 19th at the Anacostia...
The Anacostia Playhouse.
Playhouse, which is, where in Anacostia is that? Like right off the highway or...
So if you take, let's see, if you're coming off of the 695 in DC, it'll be the 11th Street Bridge exit.
Got it.
And if you're coming off of 295, it's the MLK exit.
I love how thorough you're being right now.
Well, there's a lot of different ways you can come from.
So it's right near that interchange where it's all that stuff is happening.
But it's in historic Anacostia, and it's independent theater there called the Anacostia Playhouse. Google it, you'll find all the details. And one very cool thing we're doing is that it is a name-your-own-price ticket structure.
Really?
Yes. So if you're ever thinking, I just don't have the funds to go out tonight, well, pay what you can. Yeah.
Yes. Pay what you can. That's awfully generous.
And so the ticketing will be up very soon.
Very good. Stay tuned for that.
Yes.
And when they see you...
Sorry, that was the original question.
Yes.
the goal is we're going to have the full band there, which is the quartet. We got Dominic Fragman on drums, Joe Martone on bass, Mr. Derek Michaels on saxophone, and I'm on vocals and guitar. We are a quartet. We are small, but we make a mighty sound.
Clearly, as we heard, my goodness. I hope if you enjoyed that, and what are the recommended, if you like, I mean, I said Dave Matthews Band, and I don't know if that's true, but what are some good comparison, like recommended if you like artists? If they like these big names, they might like more of your catalog too.
You know, I think Dave is a fair one to mention. He's a big influence on me. He's like how I learned how to play guitar. I find that referencing him can polarize people, and people either love or hate him.
Right?
You know?
Seriously. Just because you hate Dave doesn't mean you should hate Brent.
Yeah.
So what else? Who else?
Ignore that.
Okay.
Van Morrison is a very big influence on me. This other artist, Ben Howard, he's incredibly talented. And also, you know what? Prince, you can't maybe hear Prince in my music these days, but he's a big influence. So I'm just going to throw a little shout out there. Just so you keep talking about him. He's not
might or might not have some of his CDs in your collection. And
I've been in my car outside.
You go out to Brent's car right now, you're going to get Prince. What song? What song are you going to hear by Prince?
I Would Die For You.
Yes.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
And now Brent and Company. Why do you call it and Company? I mean, everybody has a different name for the band version. Is it just that was easy? Was there a story behind that?
I wish there was a better one. I needed a band name, and at the time, I kind of had a rotating cast of musicians coming through.
Got it.
So I figured it was just easier to name it after the principal. And
sure.
That way, with Brent and Company, it can be a duo, it can be a trio.
So you can do whatever format that people want when they book you. It's whatever you want.
Yeah.
I like that. What part of the D.C. region is home for you? What are you connected to?
So I live in Southeast D.C., in the neighborhood of Anacostia. And that's how I got connected with the river. It's right there. And if you go for a walk, took the dog out, and immediately thought, I need to get a boat and get on this river. So I bought a canoe. Anyway, that's where I'm from. I'm rambling here.
Yeah. Well, no, that's good. We went from where are you to dogs to canoes to like I almost kind of want to let you go and see where we end up.
No, rein me in. It's okay.
Rein me in. No way, man. This is all about you. What's that? Tell me your earliest memory with music. What comes to mind?
So I'm originally from upstate New York, Jamestown, New York.
Oh yeah.
Near Buffalo.
Okay.
Hometown of 10,000 Maniacs, of course. And Lucille Ball.
Okay.
Some would call it the birthplace of comedy. Either way.
So a notable place also because you came out of there.
There you go.
And how did you end up here?
I just moved down here as a young man looking for adventure and career opportunities. Mm-hmm. And actually, for a while, worked in clean energy finance at the U.S. Department of Energy.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, but music is the calling, so I had to put that aside.
And the earliest memory with music, let me backtrack to what we actually started talking about. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Earliest memory of music, actually, I think it was a Four Tops and Temptations concert.
Get out of here.
I'm
really?
serious. It was at like the Ohio State Fair or something like that. I just remember, I don't remember the songs or anything, I just remember like the atmosphere of being at a concert.
Wow.
And I think there's home videos of it that have probably jogged my memory a little bit. But I'd have to say, yeah, it's interesting. I never really thought about it, but that'd be the first.
Memory with music. And what about the first one performing?
First one performing would be, I played cello. That's how I started off.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
really?
It's true.
You would switch from cello to guitar.
I did.
All right. Some would say that's a good choice.
Some would say it's a good choice. I still have the cello. I'm just not very good at it anymore. But also, another thing I would do is, it's so funny, when I look back at my old house, we had a deck on the back, and I would, I'd grab a guitar, I'd grab a tennis racket, and I'd play it like it was a guitar, and then I'd like set up a drum kit made out of like buckets, and I'd have like a spoon would be my microphone, and I would just go, no one else would be out there, but I'd go have a little concert by myself, pretending to be on stage, and...
How old were you when we were talking about it?
I couldn't have been 4 or 5 years old.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, I don't know what about it, but...
So you were performing
chasing the illusion.
Yes.
Ever since then.
That's wow. Well then, so now let's fast forward then. What about your funniest moment that comes to mind for performing?
Funniest moment really has to do with just the dumb things you'll do when you're young and hungry to make any opportunity work.
Okay. Tell us the story. This is
so
good.
It's mostly something that when I look back at it now, I don't know that I would ever be able to convince my bandmates to do. But for a while, we were doing a lot of performing in the college market.
Oh,
and
nice. Yep.
Those gigs are random, and they are spread across the country. You could be in the Northeast and in the Southeast within a matter of days.
Wow.
So we, at this point in time, had a one-off
Okay.
in Charlotte, North Carolina. And then we got confirmed to do a showcase position at a college booking conference. So it was a great opportunity, and we couldn't pass it down. It was the national conference.
You've got to do it. Yeah.
Got to do it. The problem is it was a day and a half later after the Charlotte show in Minneapolis.
Oh, holy smokes.
Yeah.
And
So
you went?
we just tore the Band-Aid off.
Stop
and we drove straight all night.
From Charlotte, to
North
Minneapolis?
Carolina to Minneapolis.
Oh, my God.
And we were delusional from lack of sleep by the time it was done. And we were delusional in doing it. But it worked out.
I was going to say, was it worth it?
Yeah, we got a ton of business from it.
That's
so
awesome.
It's one of those things you just have to do, even though it doesn't make sense.
Now, what about you on the personal side? What do you, outside of this whole music thing, what else do you...
Well,
What else
outside
is
of
life
this
like
whole
for you?
music thing, I try to spend as much time as I can, on this river that I've written an album about.
True.
So
It's a canoe. You mentioned
it's a
that.
canoe I
Is there
started
more?
with. There's a
Okay.
recent development.
Okay.
Just through a couple Craigslist acquisitions, got myself a little fishing boat. Yeah,
Look at
so
you.
I got a 10-foot
Nice,
fishing
buddy.
boat.
Okay.
And it's very humble, but I just bought a little outboard for it. So the days of paddling are over.
Oh my God! You get to just twist the twist the little handle, and you get to cruise right on Anacostia. I mean,
Exactly.
the whole thing is, I spend time out on a boat too. I'm a boat guy on the river, and pretty much the entire Anacostia is a no wake zone. So a little tiny outboard is really all you need for the entire Anacostia.
So I didn't know it's a no wake zone. I was cruising yesterday.
Oh, surprise. So, yes, the whole thing is a no-wake zone. So I'm glad we can share that. And anybody else, if you were wondering, the entire Anacostia River is a no-wake zone until you get way, way, way north where it's a creek and power boats can't get there anyway.
Right.
So your little thing, you might be able to get under the little bridges and tear it up there. But totally off topic here. Let's jump back to the music.
Jump back to the music.
Look at me, I'm getting excited about boating. All right. Now, one of my favorite... Well, the other one I want to ask is your biggest success moment then. You were talking about you made the leap and you went up to the college thing and the funniest moment. But so talk about biggest success moment that comes to mind.
I think the biggest success moments for me are often the smallest, quietest ones.
Yeah.
It's easy to make it about a large performance. But for me, getting a new album out is a big success moment. For me, it's a big project. And it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of focus, which is something I lack in life.
Okay, got it.
Very short attention span, as I think I've demonstrated a couple times here.
We've been all over the map, but we're still here. I love it. Yep, okay.
So those are my proudest moments, really. I'm really proud of the 3 albums that I've had out so far.
Okay.
And they're all love letters to what we do, to the art.
Yeah.
You were talking earlier about releasing an album in the Spotify age. And what does that mean anymore if you're not releasing a physical product? Like, does a release date matter? All raises important questions. I'm getting off topic.
Yeah.
But the point is that we do it because we love it.
Yeah. And it's that moment of success when I finished it. It's out.
It's done.
I did it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's your contribution to the catalog, to mankind's musical knowledge, be it ever so humble.
Absolutely.
And I'd say those are successes. We should celebrate those.
It's the little successes in a way, but they're very big ones in a lot of ways.
Amen.
Now, if you could offer, my favorite question to ask, if you could offer one piece of advice, what would it be?
I guess I'll tailor this to musicians in general.
Okay.
Maybe, I guess, particularly singer-songwriters, since that's been my experience. But don't take no for an answer.
Ooh, say more on that. What does that mean?
Just keep trying. And if you feel like you're creating something and you feel it has value, even if others maybe disagree at first, well, that's just their opinion, and they're entitled to it. But don't take no for an answer. Or do take no for an answer, but at least you got an answer. And that's the important thing, is follow up with people. That's my second takeaway.
Yep, the follow-up. Man, it's that being a professional business person, too.
Right.
If you want to get into the music business, that's a thing.
So even if you get a no, it's still an answer, and then you can move on to the next thing.
So you keep following up. Don't take no answer for an answer.
There you go.
There we go. I like it. All right. And now, for those folks who want to find out more about you and all the cool stuff happening with Brent & Company, where do they go?
Go to brentandco.com.
Okay, and that's BrentAndCO.com?
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
BrentAndCO.com.
Okay.
And you can use that same moniker, Brent and Co, for Instagram and Facebook.
All the socials. And
All
stuff
the
too.
socials.
Very good, man. And November 19th.
November 19th at the Anacostia Playhouse.
I'm excited.
Album release show.
I've never been to the Playhouse, so I'm going to have to
Dude.
make it a point to make it there, because I want to see the whole band, too. This is going to be cool.
We're hoping to have
Now-
some special guests, too.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. More.
Cliffhanger.
Have to follow you on social media to figure this
There
stuff
you go.
out. Here we go. Now, one of the things about being a guest on the show is you got to bring great music with you, and Brent definitely did that today. So let's kick it off and get back to some music. What do you have for us first today, Brent?
Yes. First and foremost is a drummer I know very well. His name is Dominic Fragman. He is on the new album, and this song is Obsonatus.
Perfect. And for you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. This
Thank
is
you.
Brent & Co. You heard his stuff. And of course, DCMusicRocks.com. Sign up for the email. Hope you subscribe to the podcast or subscribe to us on YouTube, because we got a YouTube channel and everything. So thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, guys.
Mwah. Love ya.